Welcome class to Biomechanics on equilibrium, right? Before we begin, we must remember what is torque. Do you guys remember what is torque? Sir, where is your shoes though? You cannot answer any questions without shoes. Yes, sir. I think torque is the rotational force in a car, right? Good. That is partially correct. Torque is actually a rotational power around an axis, or in this case, a joint. Now, how do you think this torque is measured? So I think torque is measured by force and distance, right? Yes, Mr. Andrews, you are correct. Torque is distance multiplied by force. The momentum of a force is the shortest perpendicular distance of a force's line of a action and the axis of rotation. Keeping in mind this concept, we can now move on to moment's arm of a force. Now class, what this simply means is that we have a straight line here, this circle being the axis, okay? And if a perpendicular force comes down on the straight line, right, the moment arm would be this, right? Because here shows a right angle which is perpendicular. Another example could be if, like as usual, we have a straight line, the point being the axis. Another word for the axis is the fulcrum, right? And we have a diagonal force onto the straight line. What do we do now? Right? What we simply do in order to get the perpendicular distance is continue the line either upwards or downwards. But a key thing to remember is that we must get a right angle in order to get the perpendicular line. As we can see, we can get a perpendicular line if we go up, not down. Now, anyone wants to do an example? Right? Mr. Andrews, can you please come up and do this example? Yes, sir. I think if this would be the axis, right? I'm guessing, right? And since it's the opposite of what happened before, it could be going down to get the perpendicular distance. Because if it's going up, right, so I don't think we will be able to get the right angle that way. Am I correct? Yes, Mr. Andrews, you are correct. Everything labeled here is correct except that you forgot the moment arm, right? The moment arm is this line that I'm shading, right? You will always label this arm the moment arm. The moment arm comes off of the fulcrum. Always remember that. What is a lever? It is simply any simple machine. Like we just went through, a lever is basically a line with a fulcrum. Now there are three types of levers, and they are classified depending on which part each fulcrum is located. First we will begin with the first class lever. The first class lever is much like a seesaw, right? With the fulcrum in the middle, right? Or, like we said, an axis and a force on one side and the effort on the next. Now we have the second class lever. The second class lever is like a wheelbarrow, right? With the load being here, or what is another word we could use for load? We could use force or resistance, right? Being here, right? And as we said, this is the fulcrum or axis. And the effort will be here, going up like a wheelbarrow. Lastly, we have the third class lever, which is like a forceps, right? Now, with the forceps, right, everything is reversed. So, whereas the first time we had the load being closer to the fulcrum, we now have it at the outside. And the effort is now closer to the fulcrum. So I think you spelled axis wrong. It's supposed to be a S, not a X. That's good, that's good. You are paying attention. You are paying attention. S, okay? For axis. Now, there is something called a mechanical disadvantage. With a mechanical disadvantage, it is about how the weight or the muscle is attached either closer or further away from the fulcrum. The closer it is to the fulcrum, the harder it is for you to actually lift anything. The further away it is from the fulcrum, it's a bit easier, giving it the name mechanical disadvantage. What is equilibrium? Yes, sir. I think equilibrium, from what we learned in physiology, that was something like a balance or something like that, or something to do with your body staying at a high point, something like that, sir. Correct. Equilibrium is a balance of all things. It's a homeostasis. I think homeostasis and equilibrium similar. That is a wrong phrase to use, Mr. Andrews, because homeostasis and equilibrium are similar, but they are not the same. Because homeostasis deals with internal chemical exchanges within the body to keep the body balanced, whereas equilibrium helps with outside or external forces to keep a body from falling over or tilting over anything like that. What is static equilibrium? Now, with static equilibrium, like the name says, static equilibrium means nothing happens. So, with static equilibrium, that means that there is no net force applying or disrupting your equilibrium. The body's equilibrium point is called the center of gravity. Another name for that is the center of mass. Now, this isn't located inside the body. A lot of outside forces, like gravity, shifts the body, and thus the center of gravity also shifts with it. The center of gravity helps with stability and balance, and like we have learned, it helps with equilibrium. Stability is the resistance against any external forces, and balance is to control. Now, ways to increase stability would be to lower the center of gravity and widen your stance. Not like wrestling. When you realize guys gonna lock up, you will see people getting low. The lower you get, the greater your center of gravity is. Thank you, class, for being here. I know things hard because of Corona and whatnot, but thanks nevertheless for showing up. For showing up. I'll post more questions based on the moment because I think I'll need more work in doing that. I'll post different ways in doing it. So please do it for the next class because it's going to help a lot. Right, so until then, class dismissed. So that is it. Right. Good afternoon, class. Welcome. Keeping it. That's good. You are paying attention. S. Stability is the balance.
I don't fat.
Yes, Mr. Andrews, you are correct, right? Everything here on this board is correct except. So I think